beyond silos, very important. Working in a holistic approach, in a media neutral environment where television, print, internet, all of them have to coexist. So as a marketeer, you can't take sides, right? You have to go beyond rigidity. You have to be flexible in real-time business. Going beyond the givens, believe in the power of insights. You have to understand what your customer wants and then sell something to him, and not create a figment of your imagination and then try and sell that back to the person. And going beyond fortresses, which is strongly encourage mobility, diversity, which is basically you have to become like your customer. So if you understand your customer, you can market to him or her better. Redraw the lines, be willing to challenge our own view of the business. This is very difficult to do, very easy to say, even for me. We need to be able to think differently, think out of the box in many ways. Rigid organizations with closed mindsets will lose out to competition. Because as time is going by, brands are becoming more and more plugged in to the conversation economy, and if you lose out, you miss the bus. Evolve your own method to combat this amongst new age competition. I spoke about that chart where I showed new age competition. So competition is not coming from McKinsey or Pricewaterhouse. Competition is coming from Google. Competition is coming from Facebook. How do companies evolve in that environment? Navigating the multi-log. I spoke about this. The world is moving away from a monologue to a multi-log, which is a lot of people talking to a lot of people. And look at the number of tools here. At the beginning, I showed you one slide where there were just like 5 or 6. Now look at this. You can't even count. Just in each of these petals of this flower, there are like 15 or 20 different avenues, different ways of getting to your customer. So everyone only hears Facebook, Twitter, but the world is much more than that. There are so many ways of dealing with a customer. It's incredible. And most people haven't even tapped into even 10% of these. Most companies haven't even tapped into 10% of these. What's BBS? That's bulletin board services, which is basically where you have people who come together. It's again a community format, but on a specific subject where you can talk to each other about various things. So in some cases, for example, microblogging is Twitter. I mean, no one calls it microblogging because people don't understand what microblogging means, but everyone knows Twitter. But then there are many other avenues like Twitter. There are many other social networks other than Facebook. And there are customized social networks. So there are social networks in countries, there are social networks in regions, there are social networks for certain kinds of people, even for handicapped people, all kinds of stuff. It's extraordinary. And that's the insight. The word insight basically means that as a marketeer, as an advertiser, how do I understand the different possibilities and then decide on which tools I need to use? Because it can get complicated. If you start losing yourself in this maze, you need to be able to unravel things and make it easy. So to sum up, the conversation economy is here. It's not tomorrow, it's today. And actually it was yesterday. Because I don't even say it's today, because by the time I say this, there must be 1 million conversations online. By the time this presentation is over, 1 million people probably have said things to each other on Facebook. So I can't even say it's today. I have to say it was yesterday. It's always on, and that's just to elaborate how significant the always on economy is. And most importantly, are we ready for it? Are we ready for it? Are we scared? Are we running away? People thought that when the television came, it's not going to last. People thought when most new things come, everyone says, it's just a fad. It's not going to last. If you have 500 million people on Facebook, it's not a fad. 500 million people is a lot of people. Okay, so as I said, it's like the third most populated country. So it's not a fad, because you can't have 500 million people on something if it was a joke. So fact of the matter is the real-time economy, the always-on economy, the conversation economy is here to stay. And as people in the marketing community, people in the advertising, PR community, we need to understand that. We need to be able to communicate effectively, and we need to be able to deliver the right solutions to our clients. Thank you.
Any questions, please? If you would like to engage in a dialogue with Jaideep.
This conversation economy, does it include this lobbying economy also? Conversations privately they take place.
Yeah.
Ultimately into lobbying and getting things done. Does it also include that?
Yeah, the only thing that the conversation economy hasn't figured out is how to transmit money online, which lobbying requires. Okay. So on a serious note, no, lobbying doesn't happen in this kind of an environment, because lobbying is still an older form of communication where it's more one-to-one. It's not a one-to-many or many-to-many, which is what the conversation economy is about. Lobbying is still a one-to-one where two people sit down and try and communicate to each other about a particular issue. Obviously, with the scams that are going on and the lobbyists being involved in that, they need to understand that they'll get exposed even faster because of the conversation economy. And they need to stay away from illegal ways of lobbying and do more like legal forms of persuasive communication and not paying people off. And that's the power of the conversation economy, because it opens up secrets. It brings out things into the world which 10 years ago you could hide. These are things that have been happening for years, but like I said at the beginning, it's only now that they come out so quickly. So, if that answers your question.
This conversation economy, based on which if there is a defamation, can they be taken as legal evidence to prosecute them or things like that?
Well, unfortunately not. So, at least most courts in the world do not allow any online information right now to be used as evidence in courts of law. But I think it's just a matter of time, because, right now a lot of this is entertainment for people. A lot of the conversation economy is about talking to friends, becoming a part of a community, but sooner or later it's going to become serious business. And when that happens, for example, even now if you have tapes, they don't mean anything in a court. So even videotapes don't mean anything in a court. So the fact is that at some point in time, when these mediums become more authentic over a period of time, then it'll happen. It has to happen. Yes, please.
Towards the end of the presentation, you showed us the flower with the number of sites in it. Now, by any standard, don't you think it's a little overwhelming with the number of avenues available when it comes to basic conversations? How many do you think a company can actually tap into from the available options?
Yeah, that's a good question. Actually, the way it's done is, you don't, as an organization or a marketeer or advertiser or whatever you are, you don't actually look at it that way. You don't say that there are 500 outlets, so which one should I pick? You actually do it the other way around. You look at the customer and you find out where the customer is. So if the customer of your product, so say your X company, say your Dell, and your customer tends to be more on Facebook, then you should use Facebook. It's like that. So the whole approach to this communication piece is to look at your customer, look at your consumer, find out where he is or she is, and then only use that tool. And so you don't go crazy trying to figure out all the tools. You don't go crazy trying to figure out which avenue you should use. You should just find out where your customers are and go there. The easiest way to do it.
So that again boils down in Facebook and Twitter, because most of...
Not really, because if you're familiar with China as a market, Facebook and most of the Western tools are not allowed. The government doesn't allow you to. So if you're marketing to a Chinese customer, then you try Facebook, you won't get anybody, because in China they're not allowed to. But they have their own local social media, which were also there. I showed some of them, and there you need to use those. So as an example, it's not always Facebook, to answer your question.